Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Combs. I'm a certified energy coach and mind body eating coach, specializing in energy revitalization and life transformation around food and body. I'm here to talk about my Relief Through Release Playgroup. I thought I'd introduce myself, tell a little bit about me and why I run this group, and then tell you exactly what's included when you enroll. So, for most of my life, I have struggled with sugar binges, overeating, weight gain, compulsive eating after dinner, and yo yo dieting. I have tried every diet, and I became an aerobics instructor to burn off the excess calories that I was eating. I lost weight time and again just to gain it back repeatedly, which left me feeling like there was something wrong with me, like there was something lacking in my character. When I finally found the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, I learned that there was nothing wrong with me. The only thing wrong was that I had been conditioned to battle my weight using calorie restriction and appetite suppression. And like so many other women, it simply didn't work for me. Luckily, releasing that excess weight became effortless once I learned how to feed myself by following my appetite instead of starving myself and rebounding into binges. That, my friends, is when everything changed. The compulsion to eat after dinner is gone. I replaced the constant inner critic with an inner cheerleader who recognizes every single successful step that I take toward my goals. I wake up motivated for my day because my food plan leaves me satisfied and satiated. I eat foods that I love and I no longer worry about what I weigh. I enjoy better and better health as I continue to release the thoughts, foods, and behaviors that were causing my unwanted symptoms. And I'm loving my life. That is why I'm so excited and passionate about helping other women who are struggling with the same kinds of things that I have struggled with. That's why I created Relief Through Release Playgroup for women who are ready to release the thoughts, foods, and behaviors that are creating unwanted symptoms. So, what kind of symptoms are we talking about here? All kinds of symptoms. The kinds of symptoms that have been reported as being released during this program are listed here on the screen. Low energy, sugar cravings, poor sleep quality, irregular bowel movements, gut issues, digestive trouble, brain fog, lack of motivation. Who knew that was an issue with food, right? Acne, rashes, rosacea, joint pain, back pain, headaches, congestion, heartburn and reflux. PMS symptoms have been released. Night sweats, compulsive overeating, excess weight, and difficulty losing weight have all been released by playmates of mine in the group. So if you are currently suffering with any of these symptoms, then the R&R play group might be right for you. So let me explain exactly what's included in the Relief Through Release Playgroup. This is an 8-week online program where you get 30 sessions via Zoom, 5 levels to choose from, which means you can tailor make it to yourself. It's not going to be the same for everyone, and 3 phases. So let's take a look at the 3 phases first. The first phase is phase fun, then there's phase do it, and phase freedom. During phase fun, we're going to be planning and preparing to release the foods that we decide to release. Now, this includes 3 Zoom sessions over 3 weekends, and those are all going to be held on a Saturday or Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. All of the times that I'm giving you are listed in Pacific time zone because I'm here in California. The second phase, phase do it, is what I call the sweet release phase. It includes 21 days of sugar abstinence and abstinence from beating ourselves up, 21 daily coaching sessions via Zoom, and those sessions are either going to happen at 10:30 a.m. or 5:30 p.m. Now, phase freedom is where you get the support, reintroduction of foods, and integration of tools and processes that we have learned. We're going to include 5 Zoom sessions over 2 weeks. So total, you get 8 weeks. There are 30 Zoom sessions, 29 of them are in a group, and one of them is one-on-one with me. There are 5 levels of the game to choose. And at the very basic level, the only 2 rules are we're releasing sugar and we're releasing self-criticism or negative self-talk. Okay? Let's take a look in detail at what level 1 consists of. Number 1, no beating yourself up. That is rule number 1. No matter what happens, we do not rely on self-criticism, and we'll learn ways to identify when that's actually happening, and we'll learn some fun ways that we can replace that criticism. Okay, we're going to be abstinent from sugar, recreational sugar, for 21 days. And what I mean by recreational sugar is desserts, candies, cookies, cupcakes, baked goods, sugary coffee drinks, all of those kinds of things are recreational in nature. So we're going to be releasing those for 21 days. That's the sugar abstinence part of the program. We're also going to have no added sugar. So if you're keeping some of the processed foods in your diet, that's just fine. But we're going to learn how to read the labels so that none of those names for sugar fall in those first 4 ingredients. We're also going to release artificial sweeteners for 21 days for a couple of reasons. Most artificial sweeteners have some kind of toxic effect on the body, and we would like to release those, obviously. But they also sort of trick us into wanting real sugar. So including artificial sweeteners in the 21 days of abstinence could lead to eating off plan because we've got those cravings going on for the sugar. In level 1, we also release the fruit juice, the soda, the diet sodas, the sugary coffee drinks like you get at Starbucks. None of those things are appropriate for the 21 days of release. Of course, they're fine in moderation. And if you decide to reintegrate those kinds of foods after the 3 weeks, we'll learn how to do that as well. No alcohol during the 3 weeks of release, mostly because alcohol metabolizes just like sugar and causes a lot of the same kinds of unwanted symptoms. And also because the chances of eating off of our intentional food plan raise significantly with just one alcoholic beverage. Okay. We're going to be limiting our coffee to 1 or 2 cups after we have ingested some food, simply because caffeine spikes our blood sugar. We're going to limit dried fruits to 1 serving a day. So 1 serving of dried fruit could look like 2 dates or 2 or 3 dried mango slices or a 1/4 cup of raisins. Okay. And we're going to limit honey and maple syrup to just 1 tablespoon a day. So we're really cutting back on those added sugars. And I want to be very clear that fruits are allowed in unlimited amounts. Fruit sugar is not the same as recreational sugar in so many ways, mostly because it's not processed into a toxic pulp, but also because the fruit sugar comes packaged naturally with really good fiber and nutrients and hydration, right? So all of those things are really good for us. So I'm not encouraging you to give up fruit in any way. Recreational sugar does not include fruit. And then, of course, whole foods with natural sugars are allowed. So things like coconut water or sweet potatoes naturally have sugars in them, but there's no added sugars. So those are fine if you want to include them. So basically, this is what level 1 looks like. And the whole thing is up there on the screen, the guidelines for level 1. And it's good to know that every single level includes level 1. So if you choose level 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're going to be doing all of these things on level 1, plus the things that are included on those upper levels as well. So let's take a look at those. Level 2 releases your suspect foods. So many people come to me and they already kind of suspect that there might be a certain food causing them issues. If that's the case for you, I'm going to just encourage you to play with letting go of that food for the 21 days. Level 3 releases wheat and or dairy. The reason that we have this level is because a lot of times people will suspect that there might be some food causing them issues, but they're not really sure which food it might be. Well, wheat and dairy are proven to cause a mild to severe allergic reaction in a whole bunch of people. So if you know that you're having some issues with food, but you're not really sure which foods might be causing it, this is a great level to kind of release those biggies that might be at issue. Level 4 is just new to the release group. We're releasing fast foods and most manufactured foods. So we're going to get rid of all those drive-throughs and fast foods and things like that. And all the manufactured foods. Now, there are some manufactured foods that are very high quality and I keep in my diet. We'll talk about those in the group. But at level 4, if this is your choice, then you're going to be releasing all of the fast foods and most of the manufactured foods, along with that whole list of things from level 1. And then level 5 releases all of these and more. So it's basically level you do you, girlfriend, right? We're going to release the self-criticism, we're going to release the recreational sugar, and then we're going to release whatever combination serves your needs. Okay? So how are we going to create this relief that I keep talking about? Through release. In the group, we release foods, thoughts, and behaviors that cause the symptoms from which we want relief. So we're going to decide individually which foods we need to release because that's going to be different for each of us. That's those 5 levels that we just talked about. And then we're also going to learn how to identify the thoughts that are limiting us and replace those thoughts so that we can use thoughts that keep us aligned with our own best intentions and keep us moving towards our goals. We're going to look at some simple biological tweaks that we can make to allow us to release most overeating and binge eating. Let me say that again. So we're going to look at some really easy things that we can do to make the most efficient use of our biology so that we can release almost all of the overeating and binge eating. Okay, that's a biggie. And then if that doesn't quite release all of those behaviors, we're going to take a look. We're going to explore the psychology behind the unwanted behaviors so that we can free ourselves from the compulsion that drives us to overeat. Okay. And most importantly, we're going to create a foundation of self-love that supports every transformation we desire, right? Most of all, don't beat up on yourself, you guys. This is key. I truly do not believe that we can release foods that are causing us issue, especially if they're foods that we enjoy. We cannot do that. We cannot release excess weight if we're constantly criticizing ourselves. It simply can't happen. This is the magic ingredient. Releasing that self-criticism is huge. Now, one of the questions that I get a lot is, how much weight am I going to lose? And first of all, I'd just like to say that I like to speak in terms of releasing weight as opposed to losing weight for a couple of reasons. Most of all, none of us want to be losers. We don't like to lose anything, right? And second of all, it just has too many different factors. It just depends on too many different things, like which level of game you choose to play, or how much excess weight we might currently be carrying, or how much sugar we're currently eating, right? If someone's eating a whole lot of sugar and then stops and is abstinent for 21 days, they could stand to lose a whole lot of weight, right? How much body shame or dislike we're currently carrying around, and how much self-criticism we're currently employing, right? And here's a biggie. How willing am I to approach this program with a beginner's mind and unlearn what we've been taught about weight release, right? Because if we've tried something and tried something and tried something and it's just not working for us, then maybe it's time to play with something else. That's all. It's a play group. We play with different ideas, some new things that we haven't heard of before. And I try to bring you continually new information as I study. And I'm very excited about this group. We've had wonderful results. And I hope that you'll consider joining me. If not for this next upcoming group, then maybe the next one. If you have any further questions, please schedule a discovery call so I can answer them for you face to face. And that's it for today. I hope that answers all your questions. And I look forward to playing with you soon. Thanks so much. Bye bye.